have used a rescue aid or repel aid over the years with ears on the outside. In the last 5 years, some eights have been redesigned in a proprietary product, putting the ears on the side, which makes it easier to tie off. So basically now, as they're tying off, instead of lifting the rope over the top, they can bring it down, depending on what their situation is, bring it down, create more friction as they're rappelling, or they can come back through, create another bite, tie off, put a half hitch in this and tie it off, lock themselves off in this position. So it makes it easier to tie off. So this is kind of a new device, new twist on an old device, really, is what it boils down to. Historically, obviously, they've used the rescue aid or repel aid. This is a much smaller line than they would normally use, obviously, but for the demo. Come on in here, Brian. Pull that up for me if you would. You know, technically they're rappelling like this. A couple of tactics I've been showing these guys at this conference is as they're rappelling down, most of these guys go to lock off. They lift up from this position. They're braking position way back here. Well, what they need to do is just slide, keep tension off for them. As they're rappelling down, let their hand ride up. And then when it comes up in this position, turn the aid sideways, locking off there. Because when they come from this position back here, they're creating slack. And when they create slack, they go down. So I'm showing them, they'll just keep that position to bring it down. Their hand will ride up. They'll come in here. Another little thing I'm showing them as well, keep a little tension on that. A little higher. Get down to my waist now. As they've got it locked off down here now, and this is the normal size rope they use, 11 mil, 12.5 mil. They go to take this first wrap off, it's pretty easy, but when they go to take this second wrap off, try to get it off, you'll see guys just pulling down, jerking down on this to get off. And when they jerk, they take a little drop when they jerk. I'm showing them all you got to do is take, of course this is clipped to me, take your left hand, reach as high up as you can reach, pulling your chest into the rope, and that creates slack here and it just easily comes off. And you don't have that jerking mechanism. The problem with the tactical market that I see is if you're coming down a tactical operation and you happen to have to take fire or give fire on your rappel, you got to take the time to lock this baby off. You can't just let go or you're going to go. That's where maybe some new technology will help these guys. And this happens to be a Petzl rig. The Petzl ID is the common one in the market now used in the fire service. But as you can see, this device typically you just classically pull down the lever, manage it like I'm managing it, and you see it moves down. When I get into a firefighter, if I have to let go, I just let go, it springs back, and I'm locked off here. If I'm going to be in a tactical position for a while, all I got to do is pull it down, and that locks me in the position for good. I can move all around where I need to go. Now I don't have to worry about tying off. I can do it in split seconds to make it happen. Putting on rope is also another advantage for this particular device. Again, this is called a Petzl rig. It's easy to load onto the rope. Just simply pull it around, bring it down. Obviously this is clipped into me. I'm ready to go. So, and a lot of the guys are using 12.5 millimeter line, trying to convince them to go to 11 millimeter line, which is single person load. Eventually want them to get into what's called the fire escape market and try to look at some of these devices. This particular device made by Sterling F4 is just on Top Shot, apparently this last week. Several guys have come to me and told me about it. The guys had to tactically come down, engage targets, and each floor they went down. That's 8 millimeter line there. So if we can start moving tactically to this smaller line. Now this is a little different. This is similar to a Petzl stop. You have to preload these devices online. That's what the firefighters do in their turnout gear. So if they have to bail out of a building, they just clip it on. Here's a package right here. They just clip that on an anchor point and they're ready to go. Whatever their anchor point is. This particular device, the F4 by Sterling, you squeeze the handle. Okay, you got to be careful because most people's human reaction is when they get excited is to squeeze. You squeeze, you're going to go, just like the old Petzl stop. But what's nice about this device, similar to the Petzl rig, is that when you squeeze, if that's engaging me, I let go. I need to engage in a target. I'm locked off already. The blade actually pinches the rope in here, and I don't go anywhere. So The guys that were on Top Shot were just rappelling down to their floor, engaging their targets, going down to the next floor, engaging their targets, and just letting go, and didn't have to tie off on an 8. So that's where the industry's going, I think. In time, we'll be moving to a smaller diameter rope, smaller devices. This particular device is easier to load than the escape artist, but this creates more friction. Okay. So again, and then the little mini 8. The problem with this again is you have to tie it off. So, but it is much easier to get online. So if we can get the guys to start moving to something like the bobbin device, Petzl rig, in this case, which is much easier to operate, eventually we'll move to these smaller devices as well, I think, in time.
Thank you. And that's ozarkrescue.com?
ozarkrescue.com. Ozark Rescue Suppliers. Yep.
Thank you.
You bet. What do you think of that?